Hey guys and gals, it's been a little while, a little over a week since we came to you last time, and when we ended the video, that we talked about the uh, lady at McDonald's and how you can't use or you shouldn't use your disability as a crutch or a handicap sticker as a crutch, as the case may be. I promised you that I would finally get to some of the horror stories that I have encountered as far as online dating. So I guess I will start at the beginning. Um, when I first started getting into the online thing, I guess I was 25. I had a friend of mine who encouraged me to do that because she saw that I wasn't really dating anybody around here and didn't really have a chance to meet a lot of people. So uh, she thought maybe that would be a good idea. And it was. And then almost 3 weeks afterwards, I met someone, and she was from Evansville, which is about an hour away from where I am now. And we dated for a little while, and you know things seemed to go well. And then I went on vacation with a friend of mine that I went to college with. Not a girl; it was a guy, and we were in the same fraternity. And we went to the CMA Music Fest. Those of you that are country music fans are probably familiar with that. And we had a good time, and just, you know, two 20 something guys having a good time in Nashville. I didn't see anything wrong with that. So, uh, but I didn't check in with her apparently as much as she wanted to. So I got home and posted on Facebook what a good time I had and how we'd met some people. Mind you, not other women, because I wouldn't do that, but we just met some guys that were also in a Sigma Nu chapter and hung out with them. And so, anyway, and she got upset and ended up, kind of ending things. And I tried to work things out and explain to her, everything that happened. Well, it turns out it had nothing to do with that so much. As weeks later, or months later, in fact, after me trying to get in touch with her, she told me that she couldn't be with me because of the wheelchair and the strain that had put on her or would put on her in the future. And I understand that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not a unique or at times difficult situation, but it can also, I mean, the least you could do is say, hey, I can't do this face to face. Don't break up with somebody on Facebook. That would be tip number one, online dating or otherwise. Then the second really bad horror story would be when unknown to me, when I was somebody was closer to my mom's age than she was my own. I typically date older. I'm not gonna lie about that. I am kidded and teased about that quite a bit from family, friends, and anybody who knows me. But she said she was, I don't know, late 30s, early 40s, I guess, and her pictures look like it. Apparently, she had some Photoshop because when she walked in the door, excuse me, she was closer to my mom's age than she was mine, and you could tell. And so I thought, well, I'm not gonna make a big scene and you know, scream, whatever. So I thought, well, we'll go to dinner and it'll be nice. I'll get out of the house at least, and we did, and that was okay. I knew it wasn't gonna go anywhere, and so then she wanted to go to a movie, and okay, sure, why not? Not gonna make a scene again. I probably should have, but oh well. And so we do, and those of you who have seen our first couple of videos, or quite frankly have read the channel name, know that I use a wheelchair. And so she's trying to get it out of her car, and she can't, and it's raining and whatever, and she can't put it together. And so she has the movie attendant who's taking tickets and whatnot. out there trying to help us, and it's just a disaster. So we finally get into the movie, and I'm just praying for this nightmare to end. And we say goodnight, whatnot. I just figured she's going to realize that it didn't work out, and whatever. And so, um, she texts me the next day, and she's like, "So when can we see each other again?" And then she got mad because I'm like, "Well, you're close to my mom's age. I can't do that. That's not really what I'm looking for." And I don't have a mommy complex or anything like that. And I didn't feel it. So there was that. And she ended up getting all upset and coming to my house and stalking me for a little while. So that didn't go well, especially when you're still living with your mom at the time. And then there was the one that I kind of told you all about that came over and we met, and she conveniently forgot to tell me she didn't have a car. So, I quickly realized that not because of that, but for other things, that we weren't going to work. And so I was like, "So do you have a ride that can pick you up?" And she's like, "Yeah, my mom will pick me up when she gets off." And I said, "Okay, when does she get off from her job?" And it's like 10 o'clock. And I'm like, "Okay, this is great." Because this is like 5:30 at the time. So mom comes home and she's like, "Hey, what you doing here?" And I have to explain. And she's like, "Well, can your mom give you a ride home?" And I'm like, "No, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm not about to let you get in my mom's car. I just met you. I don't, that's kind of a strange situation, because you just never know. Um, you'd like to think people are good, but she could have had a knife and ended up, slaying us all for all I know." So, like, she ended up walking home, and I told her, I'm like, "Well, I can call you a cab. You can wait for your mom, whatever." But she ended up walking home, and I felt horrible, and so I check on her, and then the next day she's like, "Well, I really like you, and I really think this can work out, and why don't you just move into with me and whatever?" And I'm like, "No, you can't." You can't just stay at someone's house. I said, "It really turned me off when you lied to me and said you had a car and you didn't, and this is not going to work." So there was that. Probably not as big a horror story, but I'm trying not to go into every little detail. I guess the best part is the 2 year relationship that I did have with my ex. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out for a variety of reasons. But on our first date, I had dinner with her and her friends, but the first date where we really got to spend time together, she had asked me to her house, and I was going to stay the weekend there, which was great. But her mother was German, and she cooked some German beef or something and German mashed potatoes, which were really good. But apparently they didn't settle well with my stomach, so I ended up being sick that whole weekend. Not the best impression in the world. She was really great about it. And unfortunately, that wasn't the only time that would happen. So, despite the fact that we're not together, that woman probably deserves some sainthood for having to put up with me and the sickness at times. Um, but all in all, while there have been some rough ones, it probably hasn't been as bad as some times I would like to make it. My only tip is just be honest and you know um, uh, and yeah. So just be honest and enjoy things, and don't be afraid to get out there. Um, so I don't know what we're gonna do for the next video, but we'll probably take the rest of the week off and celebrate Easter. Hope you guys have a great one, and we will talk to y'all probably next week. All right. Thanks. Take care. Hit the subscribe button on the channel, and you can get all our content. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.